Theo and Harris, as a company,
Yeah.
has never released videos that have ever referenced a holiday, like
What?
promptly. Sure, we did
promptly,
one Christmas
promptly.
thing, like, but it's never, not you and me and Anna. This goes way back.
Really?
And everyone else is like, here's an Easter sale. Like, and they announce it. And I'm like, hey, do we have time to do something before Easter? She's like, no, we don't. Like,
We're booked solid, buddy.
booked solid.
I don't understand why you
What is up, Watch Fan? I am Christian, the curator of the Theo and Harris Watch Shop.
I am Michael, and I'm sponsored by these headphones that we'll
You've
talk
been wearing
about
them all the time.
Yes, I have. They're fantastic. We'll talk
right.
about more about them later.
Terrific. Today we're going to be talking about watches that we were looking out for in 2023.
Yes.
It's the Christmas season. We've all spent a lot of money, I'm sure, on our friends.
Yes.
And now it's time to start thinking about how we can be selfish
Yeah.
in Q1 or Q2 or whatever. So
Right.
that's what we're talking about. Do you have a couple of cool watches?
I have some bangers. One of them is a banger, but it's also a disappointment. And then, obviously, we have one that we're both looking out for.
Yes, that is true.
These are watches that we hope to at least experience in 2023. Maybe not buy them all, because that'd be, quite a year.
Yeah, well, and keeping in mind, we do this every year. What we're looking out for, and things change.
Yeah.
Your tastes change, or maybe you find a watch that you like more. Obviously, we don't have we don't have unlimited money. It's a very, very high limit, but not no. But for real, even like there are watches that are $4,000 that I'm really, really into, and then you say, okay, well, would I rather spend, put that $4,000 towards something else? It's very difficult, and you're always budgeting for this, and
We could hit a growth spurt.
You could
Maybe our watches are too small all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Christian and Michael are 6'3" all of a
I'm
sudden.
like, oh shit, all that Cartier stuff is for girls.
It's too small. You immediately switch.
Yeah.
It's clearly just based on our builds.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, terrific. What are you wearing today?
Today I'm wearing my Zenith Revival Shadow.
Fantastic watch.
Yes, you'll be seeing it on a video soon.
Oh,
on
very
a different YouTuber's platform.
Oh, Iron Snail.
No,
No?
no watch content on the Iron Snail. We can't mix that
So what is
together. Teddy.
Oh!
Oh, yes.
I am wearing my Cartier.
You just trying to settle with the fact that my other YouTube channel is going to start doing watch content? Oh, that's fun.
I'm wearing a Cartier Santos Carré, one of my favorite watches, solid 18 karat gold, and I adore it.
Was it cheap?
This is also, frankly, it wasn't cheap. But you know what? More important than that, it took me so long to find one of these watches, and that's kind of like what we're talking about today. And how some of these journeys to ultimately acquire something, like I'm sure you guys have experienced, they may be a long time coming. And that's a nice feeling, when you finally do get it. If you don't have the immediate feeling of regret for spending that kind of money, but which also is part of spending money on watches.
You're just like, wow,
that was dumb.
Especially when there's a really beautiful photograph of it online, and then you get it, and you're like, oh, right, it is a regular watch.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it has to be in bad lighting, and I have to look at it.
Yeah.
All right, my first one is a Luminor, a Panerai, actually.
Really?
A 38mm Panerai.
Not bad.
But this is the one with a little catch to it, because I think it's beautiful. I don't have a watch with a white dial right now. This is the Luminor Due Luna PAM 1301.
Wow.
38mm.
And does that have any water resistance or no?
That's the big catch.
It does not,
It
right?
has 50.
Yeah, see, I gotta say that's
Come on. And everybody was saying, like, why would you put this beautiful, like, the iconic Panerai crown guard on it?
Yeah.
It's Panerai, it's Italian divers, that's not Italian anymore. It's so many things except what it is supposed to be.
I know.
A moon phase dive watch without the bezel that can dive?
Yeah.
Crazy cool.
I don't think it needs to be like go super deep.
No.
But come on, you can't give me 200 meters. You can't give me.
Come on. Can't give me 100?
100. I mean,
100?
It's embarrassing.
100, I'd be like, all right.
That would be the same thing. I mean, again, it may sound like a stretch here, but it's very similar to Patek.
I was just thinking of all the incredibly extremist things you could have said.
So, false advertising, Goebbels, right?
It's very similar to Enron. I'm like, what?
No, it's very similar. Like, if Patek were to show you a watch that looked a hell of a lot like a perpetual calendar, and they're like, but it doesn't do any of those things.
Right.
And you're like,
But you're Patek.
but it looks like it.
They're like,
or you're misleading me. Well, yes, but because it's a history of perpetual calendars, that's why you're thinking that.
wait, but so it's cheaper then?
No.
This is a $10,000 watch.
That's ridiculous.
$10,100.
I love Panerai. I root for Panerai. I really do. I think there's a bold design. There are very few watch brands that have something that is, without their name, still recognizable.
I know, and it's been so long. Every Panerai I see that I like is 44 millimeters, 46 millimeters, 42, which is better, but still very large. Then they release a 38 with no water resistance.
Yeah, it's silly.
There's others, but this is the one that I really like. Especially, what a weird watch that you could have and go diving with. You're not going to use it as a diving computer or time or anything where you have a backup, whatever. Yes.
Panerai, you did f*** up. We're not asking for a lot here, but we're asking for 100 meters at a minimum. Fuck you. Frankly, come on, man. And there are two sides to the dive debate, right? People say, it's like, okay, so we're criticizing it for not having any, depth.
Sure.
And then there are people when it has depth, they say, no, wait, I'm confusing myself.
That's all right. Well,
I'm just saying people all the time are like, you never use it for that anyway. Yeah, I know I only desk dive. I know, but I also don't want to be deceived.
I don't want to buy a Submariner with 20 meters water resistance.
Yeah, like come on. Like an idiot. Yeah.
It is also, there's always going to be someone in the comments that says, well, this is ISO certified versus this certification versus this.
Stop being a dweeb.
Stop being a watch dork, to quote Dave Portnoy. I don't, there's so much debate and discussion that maybe I'll try to go swimming with it if I ever got one, but it's just, there's so much controversy around water resistance that I'm like, I just like to see 100 to feel a little safer.
Yes.
Maybe I could swim with it. Maybe I could dive to 50 meters and be fine.
Right.
Which is also a very deep dive.
Right.
But who knows?
All right. So I guess one of mine?
Yeah.
Okay. So as you know, I've had a long love affair with AP's Royal Oak chronograph. Mm-hmm. I have wanted the new model, the 38 millimeter silver dial chrono for about a year. I think it's one of the most beautiful watches in production. I think that its price point around $38,000, I believe, is
retail.
Pretty fair. Mm-hmm. I am on the list. I believe I may be getting allocated one in the near future.
What makes you believe this?
I got a nod. I didn't tell you that?
No.
I got a nod like the day after I got the white gold GMT.
Well, they saw you probably post on Instagram and they were like...
someone told me, hey, I saw that guy the other day, by the way. So he knows that you're like one of the next ones. And I was like, oh, great.
Oh, awesome.
If you're watching. And so anyway, I think this is one of the most beautiful watches. I really do. I think that this is a more beautiful watch than
Michael's.
Than its predecessor, which was, if you look up, it's the AP Kasparov, which is a famous chess player that wore this very famous watch. I've really admired these watches for a long time as well. Mm-hmm. Now, the reason I didn't, consider buying one is really, it's twofold, but the first is very simple. I really don't like that the date is stark white. I really don't like it. I think it looks cheap.
Yep.
And I don't like it, period. I wish it didn't even have a date, frankly.
Yep.
The successor, the silver dial, does have date, but it's perfect date. It's really well thought out. Mm-hmm. It doesn't seem like an add-on at all. The white dial has date as well. This watch also comes in white, and even the predecessor, the Kasparov, also comes in white. It's not called the Kasparov in white, but that watch right there, exactly.
Yep.
The date it just looks more seamless because it is white on white.
Yep.
Fine. So here's where it gets a little sticky. When I was looking at getting the silver, a year ago.
Yes.
And spending $38,000 because I wasn't going to buy secondhand and spend $60,000. I just wasn't going to do that.
Of course, right? Which you played your hand. You played it out long game, and you literally got two watches for the price that you would have paid for that one.
Exactly, that's actually true. So anyway, long story short, when I was looking at the silver dial, it was $38,000, and then these models which I could get at any point were around, they were in their mid 40s and at 50.
Which we made a video about before. You said you thought was just surprisingly low.
I think that they're better. I think they're better watches in the mid 40s. I think that they're great. Mm-hmm. But I will tell you that it's a very complicated equation. It depends on the sort of people that were attracted to these watches. Mm-hmm. But the prices have plummeted.
Really?
Plummeted. I was offered one yesterday for $30,000. Down from mid 40s.
How much is the new one?
The new one's 38.
What point does the Kasparov have to be for you to be like
$25,000. 25,000, and frankly, the white, I was offered a white one the other day at 27. So it's wild, you know.
Wow.
But I gotta say, like, I don't look to make money on personal watches. Watches that I buy for myself, of course, I don't care. I mean, I want to, you know, not get hurt, you know, like everyone else.
Yeah.
But I don't look at like, okay, what am I going to sell this for someday? Meaning so far as profit. That being said, you know, no, I don't like buying watches that are plummeting. I don't. So I am a little bit turned off to these particular models at the moment.
And you don't get turned off very often.
I don't. I mean, I'm a
Get a lot of vitality.
So anyway, that's my love affair with these watches does not go back to Kasparov. I don't even know how to play chess, or is it checkers? No, but my love affair goes back to Ari Lang, Ari Gold, Ari Gold from Entourage. He wore a stainless steel white dial AP Royal Oak chronograph for a while in the show, until he was gifted one in yellow gold.
Wow.
So, yeah.
You do love Artie Lang.
I love Artie Lang
for
as
different
well.
reasons.
Yeah, Artie Lang as well.
What a weird... I could see that being a Hodinkee write-up. You're getting interviewed about your watch collection, and you're like, this is inspired by Artie Lang.
Artie Lang.
And then you say, oh, wait, sorry, that's not what I meant. But the Hodinkee writer puts Artie Lang anyways.
Artie Lang's too fat to fish.
You're a laughing stock.
Yeah, the best. So anyway, that's a watch that I would very much like to see in the next year. And the truth is that I would love one with patination, with patina. But if I did get one... do not put it beyond me to have a custom date wheel manufactured.
I wouldn't put anything beyond you.
Yeah. I would even 100%.
This tropical dial one, this is a bad example. A little less beautiful version. Someone offers you for $38. Do you take that or do you take new?
It's a great question, you know, and the truth is, I mean, I would need to see them both. So I'd probably buy both and then sell one, you know, because it's tough. It's really hard to say.
Yeah,
they're both great watches. $38,000 is a ton of money, you know. So that, you know, even that's something, you know, to be said. Like, do I even want a $38,000 watch? You know, I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
You know,
I mean, your Rolex is 30.
My Rolex is 32. Yeah, you know, yeah.
That other $6 is. It starts to you think about that.
Start to think about
what could I do with that other $6,000?
Nothing. You fill up your tank. You know, but yeah. I mean, I didn't think I was going to get this watch. You know, this was a lot of money. You know,
how much is that?
$20,000.
Oh my
God, it's ridiculous.
You got a lot of watches.
I have too many watches. Yeah,
or not enough money.
Or not enough money. It's depending how you look at it.
It's one of those things that goes back and forth.
Before we continue with this year or next year's watches, a quick message from our sponsor at headphones.com. And the brand here we've got is Focal Batiste.
Do you notice the lights on the side?
I do.
Very fantastic. You're also in transparency mode, so I can hear you clearly even though the headphones are on.
But then when you go into...
If I hold this down for 2 seconds and go into noise cancellation mode...
Can't hear anything I'm saying.
You sounds like a little ant.
That's amazing.
I know, so I guess it doesn't work that well.
Yeah, exactly. Now, how terrific.
Yeah.
So how long have you been using these for?
I have been using these now for 2 months, really for editing, because let's get into the details of these first. This is aluminum and magnesium, so these are cold to the touch.
Yep. Oh, wow. Wow, it's bizarre.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
So cool.
And they're more expensive than your average headphone, but the quality that I've been getting from them, especially in a way that we'll talk about very soon, really justifies it for me, especially with editing. But even if you just like listening to music or you're looking for a gift for someone that loves to listen to music,
wow,
very, very justified.
Yeah, those are incredible. And I never heard of the brand before, so, you know.
See, that's the thing. We're not audiophiles. I really should be, considering that I am constantly editing and working.
Right. No, yeah, it makes sense. Why aren't you? And I'm upset.
That's weird. You should have not told me that.
When you gave me my pair, which was 3 weeks ago, I guess, for me, the largest, you know, kind of like benefit is when traveling.
Yes.
You know, in the house as well, but I have my surround sound in the house, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. But when I am on an airplane or when I'm in an airport and I'm sitting down, I mean, you know, I'm not totally asocial, but I really want to be just zeroed in on what I'm doing on my computer, whether I'm doing work. Well, I'm usually doing work, and I just really don't want to hear anybody, and I want to listen to something really relaxing and calm, usually without lyrics. And these were phenomenal. I think I did 2 trips with them for work, and for me, a fantastic experience. It's not just better sound, but it's just as an entire experience, it was fuller and very isolated, and that's exactly what I'm looking for with headphones.
Yeah, and really the best part is I will use them for the same thing on a plane, just around the house. But when I am actually editing, there's a USB-C port down here, and there's a DAC in these, digital audio converter. And when you put these on, you can switch it to DAC mode, and you get louder sound and much, much clearer sound.
Wow.
So I can use them professionally when I'm editing, or you can just pop them off, Bluetooth connect to my phone.
Casually.
And listen, no big deal.
Oh, phenomenal.
That is probably the best part for me.
This is a big boy toy.
Yes, this is headphones.com. They sell luxury high-end headphones for audiophiles, for people that just want to listen to music, anything in between. But this is a great example of what they do. And these are the Focal Batiste. There also is the Focal Utopia, which is $5,000.
Wow.
But really the quality that you're getting here already is insane. So these Batiste take Focal's highly regarded speaker driver tech that their audiophile grade headphones are known for and put them in an active noise canceling platform, which is kind of the best part. You can use it on the go or transparency mode, which is great. And one of the nice things too when you're editing is you can get headphones that really emphasize the bass or ones that really emphasize high end, whatever. These, they really emphasize the sense of punch and they're very dynamic, but they don't sound bloated or boomy, which is exactly kind of what I'm looking for, because you get nice music, you can hear everything how it's supposed to sound, and I can deliver something to someone accurately. The nice part about headphones.com is that they have a 365-day return policy. That's a full year.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much to headphones.com for sponsoring today's video. The headphones are phenomenal. Great job to Focal. And I hope you guys go over and check out their entire selection and listen, get lost in a whole other world of quality outside of the watch industry, right? Get lost in another whole, world of artisanship.
Yeah. Next up, my love affair with Zenith continues, and hot take, if I had many, many millions of dollars, I think I would probably own almost every Zenith on their site right now.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I think their chronograph, which is the Chrono Master original, is gorgeous. 38 millimeters, great size, and I could be wrong on this. There are probably some with it, some not, but the actual chronograph hand is a tenth of a second. So it's flying around the dial.
Wow. Is it distracting?
I don't know. How often do you time?
I guess you wouldn't even use it. Yeah.
I time my tea and my pasta.
Yeah, right.
What a dumb thing to time.
Yeah.
I just think these are such beautiful watches. I obviously have the Zenith Revival Shadow, so that case shape. I would even get other watches in that shape because I think it's so beautiful. But
that's a beautiful one too. The three colors. Yeah.
Nice. Revival El Primero A3817. Boutique edition.
So you would continue to buy Zeniths? Oh,
yeah. Look at that. Chronomaster Revival A386 Manufacturer Edition. Gorgeous. And the story of this watch, for example, is that they found, who knows, old Zenith dials of the original Chronomasters. Like, in the archives or in, like, wherever they were storing them, and they were all dusty and they cleaned them off, and they're like the 3 shades of blue.
Wow.
So beautiful. I think that's a fantastic chronograph.
Yeah, I agree. It's one of the most interesting chronographs.
And then I'll have 3 Zeniths and be like, why don't I just get a Daytona?
Right.
The classic thing.
Yeah.
I really think Zenith is one of my favorite brands right now. But the other thing is, I feel like chronographs are my favorite type of watch.
Are they really?
Yeah.
My least favorite.
Really?
Yeah. They're great. I mean, they're great. Well, they're great watches. I mean, I'm definitely attracted to them. But I just never. I don't have one.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I have one. I have the Longines Big Eye.
Okay. Yes. I barely, like I said, 2 things a day maybe, but just like doing that and setting it is fantastic. And I have a vision. I'm going to Denmark in February of sitting with Taylor, which is going to happen. It happened when she visited me in New York, where she's cooking something and she's like, oh, set a timer for like 10 minutes, and I click it here.
Boom.
But I'll in Denmark, there's a specific stool I sit on and we chat as she cooks. And I'm like, that is such a core memory that I'm timing on this. Like,
Sally
that's so
has
nice.
never cooked anything in her entire life. I cook all the time. It's like it's your thing. If I just had a hobby, it's cooking. And Sally, every once in a while, who loves to eat my food, right?
Yeah.
But will say, I can cook if you want. Not a meek. I can cook. I can cook if you want.
Probably cook something.
And she makes. I said the only thing that she makes is called mushroom surprise. Which, first of all, stop naming your dishes.
That's if you said, if I didn't know who Sally was and you said, I'm going to tell you one thing about this girl, you need to tell me if she's related to me, I'd be like, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, mushroom surprise. And I said, Sal, the only surprise is that I'm not eating your mushrooms. It's not happening.
It's the one thing I won't eat.
It's not. Yeah, right.
That was a dirty joke, but it made it sound like a fat joke.
A fat joke, yeah. I'm turned on and insulted at the same time.
Gotta be careful, gotta tone it back down.
But yeah, so anyway, yes, I totally get it. The only thing that I've ever, I run my chronograph for fun.
Yes.
But I timed.
I don't. I hate that.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, I do.
I let a friend borrow my chronograph and it was running, and I was like, "What are you timing?" He was like, "Nothing."
Idiot, you idiot.
That's not what it's for.
Don't you understand?
I'm like, what do you just leave your car running when you go inside because you like that it's working?
That's great. It's the most watch geek kind of sentiment
it really is.
In my life. I did time my pasta with my GMT the other day, which is not what you're supposed to do a GMT for.
Right.
So.
But we're finding things.
Yeah.
It's like when you buy a dive watch and you stick your hand in the sink.
Yes.
You're like, wow, that's pretty cool.
I timed sex with an Omega Chrono stop last week.
The inside joke there is only times 1 minute. You're like, the best part was I didn't have to reset it.
I have to reset it. I'm not doing 1, 2, no.
And you're like, with Sally's though, I need a 12-hour dial.
Yeah. All right, so my watch?
You're up.
Okay, so this is something that I've been considering getting for a long time. This goes back to the $5,000 range, which is what we've been talking about, give or take.
Sure.
Give a little bit,
yep.
But certainly sub 10. But starting really around 5 is really a white gold watch from the 1970s on an
no brand, no specific brand.
It could now. I'll tell you who it could be by. It could be by Patek because they manufacture that stuff.
Okay.
And it could be by Piaget.
On a white gold band.
On a white gold band. So I'll show you some examples.
This feels like a very Goldberger move.
Yes. So like that.
Oh.
Very wild. That.
Wow.
Very wild. That.
Wow. That's next level.
That's next level stuff.
That is I have outclassed the Cartier tank.
I
have moved on from the tank.
Now you're also getting into funkiness too.
Yep.
These watches are funky.
Yep.
These watches are and they're difficult to own as well because you need to and you need to be really sure you want it. Mm-hmm. Because how do you change the length of that strap?
You cut it, right?
You cut it.
Whoa.
You cut it. That's your watch now.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's something that I've been looking at getting for a while. I've made some offers on watches like that in the last year or so, but I haven't been decisive enough to buy one. The reality about a watch like that is I really won't wear it very often. But I got to be honest, like this year has become the year of like accidentally like museuming my collection. Like I don't wear that many of my watches anymore.
Yeah, right.
I really admire them. Like I look at them and I love to reference them and I become like a little bit geekier in that way.
You become that guy that we met at London that time.
A little, yeah, exactly.
He said he was wearing like a Casio and then he was like, "Oh yeah, like here's a picture of my collection." And it was probably well over 6 figures in watches. And he was like,
well, 6 figures, it's 7 figures.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was over $1 million.
And he was like, I don't really like, I don't like wearing them. Like I don't want to take them out. I just love to, I just sit and look at them.
And it's not a matter of protecting my watches. I mean, that's definitely part of it. I mean, I don't really wear watches when I go to the city, but I don't go to the city that often. For me, it's just like, I don't know, you become a creature of habit. Like I wear my Datejust two, 3 times a week.
Yeah.
I wear my GMT now 3 times a week. We're already at like 5 or 6 days.
Yep.
I hadn't worn this in a little while, but I've been wearing this. So that's, it becomes difficult.
I think in the watch world, there are like collector people that are just like, well, I wear this watch at breakfast, this watch at lunch, this watch at dinner. And then there are watch like the romantic people that are like, but I need to find that one watch that like represents me and I live my life. And,
totally.
You know what I mean?
Totally. Yeah, it's very difficult.
It is.
So that's kind of what I've been, up to on that front. So I won't wear this very often. And the reason is like, what do you wear it with? Because that's another difference between me and other people. Not with you because you take your clothing really seriously. But a lot of people, they'll just throw their watch on depending on what they're doing that day. I throw my watch on depending on what I'm wearing, really.
Yeah, right.
So what do I have to be wearing for that white gold Patek or Piaget to make sense? And it comes down to like, okay, black tie.
I do see
like
the Beamer short sleeves the irony
that's
there.
Bad.
That's cool.
100%. I agree with that completely.
It does have to have some context of you were at a black tie event the night before.
Yeah, right.
Woke up, like put a hat on and drove to get bagels with Sally.
That makes sense.
That's crazy.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
You know, so that's been something that's been on my mind for a while. You know, the most famous watch of that category, which would basically be the Patek Beta 21, which is a watch I'm not interested in. It's too collectible. It's too expensive. I wouldn't allocate that much money toward that, to scratching that itch. You know, obviously a classic quartz watch, and the bracelet's remarkable. Yada yada yada. But this is a little bit. I want to do it sub 10,000, and I think I could do it around 5 to 8. So that's what I'm, you know, it's also a watch that would be very, if I ever do sell it, obviously it's not tying up enough capital to annoy me, but it will take a while to sell. Like, there aren't that many clients for a watch like that. Yeah. You know, good luck finding one.
That's the thing also with the watch market outside of Rolex. It's like, cool. Yeah, sell it if you want. It's a toy now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So that's become a little bit, you know, that's on my mind.
Yeah.
And I don't have many other things on my mind so far as, you know, watching.
So far as general,
I don't have that much on my mind.
So it's, as you can probably imagine, it's really been hurting.
Well, just the nihilism around us. That's all I have.
Okay, the one together is from Zenith.
Oh, big surprise.
Yes,
exactly. Because if you want it, it's got to be from Zenith.
That's true. The Zenith Defy collection, I had the Zenith Defy carbon fiber edition in full carbon fiber with the bracelet. Absolutely insane watch. Yep. Our very good friend has one in titanium.
Yep.
Again, insane watch. But the one thing that we both like is an obnoxiously colored watch on our wrist from now and then. I guess mine's not even a color. It's the presence of all colors, someone would say. But the Zenith Defy line, you want the ceramic blue one with the rubber strap. Let me see if I can even find it.
Wait, is white the presence of all color or the absence of all color?
Black is the absence of all color.
Oh, wow. I thought it was the opposite. I just figured if you mix all the colors together, you're going to get black.
Well, color in the sense of light.
Oh, like the rainbow?
Oh. Yeah. White is a combination of all colors in the color spectrum.
Wow.
Yeah, wow.
Bizarre.
How bizarre? How French?
How French?
So, you want the blue one?
The Zenith Defy with ceramic, you know, case and rubber strap. I've admired this watch since it was released. I thought it was brilliant then. I think it's brilliant now.
Yes.
I've never purchased one because, you know, they're not cheap. They're in the $6,000, you know, range, which isn't money to just throw around. I mean, you have to kind of, you know, you're kind of really going to wear it.
The thing with Zenith too is it's also that's your watch now. That is, you know, if you wanted to sell it,
it's
people
more
are like,
difficult to
well,
sell.
I'll give you 4.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
So it's difficult to sell. So yeah, I love the watch. I think it's beautiful. I think it's very trendy as well, which
very trendy.
Yeah, like, and not in a bad way where it's going to be passé at some point, but in a way that it's like, you know, it is of the era, and I think it's tasteful enough to have longevity.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic watch.
I obviously, you know, I like the white one, which blows your mind.
Yep.
But
don't know why you like it, but I get it.
I would say mine is 10 times more trendier.
It is.
Mine could actually go out. People would be like, "Whoa, that's
like a clubber.
You're trying to be rich." Yeah, these are both like your clubber, but mine is you are a clubber that wants people to see his watch.
Yes, totally.
I just think it's so cool. But yeah, that's really it. The Zenith Defy line in general is kind of insane.
But you've been loving white, you know, watches for a long time. Can you name a better white, I guess, ceramic watch under $10,000?
No, absolutely not. And that's the thing with Zenith. Like, a lot of it, it's really, their retail market is appropriately priced, but the resale market is where you can find some absolutely crazy steals.
AP obviously got into the game, but it's super expensive.
It's almost impossible to even get. Right?
Yes, agreed.
Yeah, what's that other brand? Begins with an M.
That does.
Someone was trying to bump the prices up with them. Whatever. There is another brand that does it. I can't remember it. Someone will definitely comment it. But I think that's it. The Defy line is crazy. The new edition, or these limited editions, the full sap, also insane.
These are the watches that are on our mind moving forward in this year.
Yeah.
And the odds are we'll be getting at least, you know, a couple of them. Will our tastes change a little bit? Will other opportunities present themselves? Certainly they will.
Yes.
New releases, although we really don't buy new releases. But especially me with the vintage world is just, you know, there's always something that you just never expected.
I have one that I didn't even put on this list because someone will snap it up.
Really?
Yep. I'll show you after this.
Whisper you love me.
I look weird lately, don't you think? Be honest. No, be honest. No, you're only going to be honest.
Ask me one more time to be honest.
Be honest. That's also not a question.
That was terrific. happy Merry Christmas. And,
Merry Christmas.
And that's it.
Yes.